So you're talking about conversion between like yourself and then now you've converted to being a Muslim.
Yeah.
Was that part of the reason? I mean, like, was she part of the reason why you converted?
100%. Like, for me, I thought the way my head had it was at some point, after learning up to a certain point,
Yeah.
I would not be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, negate what it is that I'm learning. I will have no choice. At that point, I would actually believe what it is.
Okay.
I would myself do that conversion.
Okay.
Right? It only happened at the time it happened because I wanted to get married to my wife.
Okay.
But I knew at some point I was going to get to that point. Yeah. Right? So that's the only difference. It was just the timeline. That was it, right? And even going back to what we were talking about in terms of, you know, not exchanging your own experiences for anybody else's. Once again, if I never had all the fuck around I did and all that stuff, I would never have been ready for that when it came. I would never have been ready for it when it came, right? The fact that I went through what I went through and had already started questioning, like, hey, like, I know where I come from, and like what I'm doing now is far from what I should be doing, right? Like that only happened because of all the experience I went through.
So, how was it like when you met her dad? And then she brings number one, she's bringing back someone who is a Christian.
No, at this point, me and her dad are converted.
Okay, so now you've converted.
Yeah.
But then she's bringing back someone who got converted. That was number one. Who just got converted. That's number one. Number two, she's bringing back a black guy. Because I know your wife, like,
Tunisian.
where's she from? She's African then?
She's not African, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. But then
Arabs
regardless,
are like that, yeah.
Regardless,
My
there'll
wife-
still be some
dynamics.
My wife will talk to you about how much she hates the fact that Arabs are like that. Because as Muslims, no, that is one of the biggest things that was brought with the message. No race is like, you know, higher than another. Everybody is equal, right? So if you hear my wife talking about Arabs, you would think she's somebody else, right? Like, yeah, it's one of those things. They're like, we're not supposed to be like that. Like, everybody you see, you are supposed to take them as a human being. Like, that's it. Nothing more.
Respect, man.
You don't do that whole thing. So that's the thing too. Also, I think me marrying into that family also made, you know, like, did not take away from the religion for me, because the dad was someone who also kind of went through a bit of what I went through, right?
Are you serious?
Where he read different books, right? And he decided that this was what made sense to him. And his own family used to tell him he was extreme. You know, and they're Muslims by birth.
Oh.
They're Muslims by birth. But Tunisia is kind of secular, right?
Yeah.
So, like, they don't really, like, when they see someone wearing hijab. So my wife will tell you, when she was younger, some of her cousins used to think she was extreme because she was wearing hijab.
Back in Tunisia or like
No,
here?
she was born here.
Oh,
but
okay.
Like her cousins, some of them, do live in Tunisia. Some others live in Montreal, right? So they were extreme because, and this is it's so weird because this is one of, like, from what I know about Arabs, like, when I met the dad, I was so confused. Like, I got no, like, resistance,
Reservation,
nothing. Even before I converted, the brother met me. He's like, we don't care about race. We don't care about money. He's like, all we care about is, like, the sister, and that you're actually going to raise her up, like, you know, like, spiritually.
You're going to take care of her. And all,
That was what the brother told me. And then when I met the dad, when I went to their house, I thought, like, initially, obviously, I'm sweating, right? I get there, I sit down. Yo, this guy is talking to me like, you know, I'm not somebody that is about to take his daughter from him. He's giving me all the respect. Doesn't know me from anywhere. If anything, by now he has caught me and her go to a movie when she lied that she was going somewhere else, and he didn't give me any of that. You get what I mean? Did not give me any of that. Like, he was like, you know, didn't make me feel like, oh, like they didn't. And mind you, of course, like, when initially my wife brought it to their attention what was happening initially, they had their reservations. But my wife did her due diligence and removed all of it from them before I finally met them. Like, by the time I met her parents, they were very, like, you know, welcoming. Even up to the point where it now came to, you know, being involved with my parents, they were, like, trying to make sure that they showed everything possible for my parents to be comfortable with that, right? Yeah, like,
So both families have met each other. Like your parents have met
once.
Okay, once.
Once.
And that was like during the wedding or what?
Before we did our like engagement / wedding, yeah.
But then like
After that, my parents said no more. They said they should never even have done it in the first place because that's not how things are done. Culture. That's
yeah,
not
of
how
course.
things are
Debo
done.
culture has
we
its
have
way. We have our way, and you know,
That was
I
their
understand that. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
You're
but-
even lucky you're not a woman.
No.
Because that would have been different.
No, even regardless of not being a woman, I'm lucky how my parents like actually moved, you know, in regards to that subject. Because like we had our up and downs, and then like now the way it is, especially with my mom sees me, she acts like a little girl. She's so excited. You know, like all that stuff is gone. Like it's still there, and like every now and then it'll come up, but it's no longer from a place of like, you know, like they pray that yes, I find the truth. That's for them, right?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so but now like it took a lot of conversations, and I got to a point where I told her, I said, look, like this does not have to determine our relationship, right? I know you think I'm going down the wrong path, but you know, religion itself, in any religion, it's told that like your children get to a certain age and they are responsible for their salvation.
Yeah, of course, 100%, bro.
You know, so yeah, like at this point now, I'm very impressed with how it is. Like it's so different, you know. And my mom talks to, like, she calls my wife calls her. You know, they talk. Like obviously, there's still that feeling of like, you know, because of Islam, right? Like it's still there's something just small, but you know, everybody's acting as good as they can. That's how I see it, you know. Even I had like such a big thing with my sister when this whole thing started, because like she disrespected my wife, and I was like, I was like, why?
Nah, you should.
Yeah, like, no, like you know, and it was a lot, and then now, like, thank God things have calmed down, and I guess too, as I'm progressing in life, my parents are seeing that, you know, okay, I'm not in trouble per se, you know, like yeah, so it's become better. Yeah.
No, 100%, man. Like truthfully, to go through that entire experience, converting, getting married, coming into the family, being with, and then being accepted by both.
Yeah.
You know, by both families.
By both family.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Nah, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Like even on you as the guy.
I grew up fast, bro. Within that period, I grew up fast. Like, because I still had to go to work and act like everything was normal.
Bro.
And I was still dealing with all that.
You have to,
weight.
bro.
Family,
You have to pay bills.
You have to pay rent.
Everything.
Yo, and
That's
that's
one
bro.
thing about life, right? It doesn't matter. Like everything is concurrency.
You don't
Everything is
at the same
happening
time, bro.
Yep.
So
It
you have to-
doesn't matter what you're going
what
through.
you're going through.
You can't go to your
Same
boss
time.
and say you don't show up today.
Yeah,
Because I'm
because
feeling, you know, like my emotions are a
Nobody cares.
bit.
There are many people that-
You're happy, you're sad, and you're angry at the same
Same time,
You're
yo.
going
Same
through it.
time.
Life is going.
It's going.
Yeah, man.
Like it's moving, bro.
Yeah, that was
You can't control the
that
clock.
was a lot, and I'm
crazy.
actually grateful for sharing. Actually, it's,
Nah,
it's, it's
all
not
of
an
the
easy
time,
one.
man. Like, and trust me, like that's actually the reason for this podcast. You know, like we don't. No,
The amount of time this guy say 100%, man, 100%, man.
no, of course, because for me, it's all about what is to understand people's experience
that's true.
through life,
Yeah.
and how they're able to navigate. Because I believe that there are some people also in your shoes. Some of them are not confident.
Yeah.
Some, you know, like trust me, you have it good, bro.
Yeah.
Some
no
people's
doubt,
family
no
is
doubt.
just.
That's the thing.
Like-
That's why I was so impressed with my parents, you know, like, and even my wife at that time, she was telling me, like, she had met my parents at some point. She's like, why would you ever think these guys would disown you? That's literally what she told me.
Well, she doesn't know where we're from.
That's the thing, right? Yeah, because I know of people where that happened and they cut them out, right? So, you know,
They might have done that, but what will happen is through the church, they will tell them that's not right.
that's not right. So that was one of the
And
biggest
then-
things with my parents.
So
because
what
they're
happened?
so-
What happened is that has already been done in the living room or whatever in the room. But when they took that matter beyond the family circle, then that's when
They
obviously,
realized.
that's the power of the church.
So this is the
You
thing. I
understand?
don't even think the church had an influence on that. I think my parents,
They don't
and their
tell you.
religion. No. Trust me. I think my parents. I've always seen my parents as these very, like, they want to actually actualize. They want to actualize that level of, you know, being religious.
But that's what I'm saying.
They literally are checking themselves at all times to make sure they are not doing anything that is not good in the eyes of God. And that is why I rate them like so much, because it doesn't matter what it is. As long as they can tell themselves that will God smile at what they're doing and they cannot say yes, they will not do that. That's how my folks move. So with this whole thing, I know that's why it is they didn't do that, because for them, they've looked at it that at the end of the day, I didn't, discard God. And even if I did, the fact is I'm still their child.
Yeah.
Yo, that's you don't get. That's the point I'm making. That because the thing is, no matter what, right? You give birth to a child. The child, it's just the Bible, the story of the prodigal son.
Yeah.
If you actually look at what the prodigal son did, compare it to the modern world, he did worse. He did a lot of crazy things.
Crazy things, yeah.
But the father said, you know what? This guy is my first
My
child.
child, yeah.
You don't first child, it's my child.
It's my child.
You have to add it now so that it looks as
Before you add it to the Bible now, because this guy he does not take you time.
No mind now.
No, but like honestly, see, I being truthful, I cannot even begin to explain what must have been going through your parents' mind
Oh yeah, bro.
from the Christian perspective.
Yeah.
Right, 100%.
Oh, like the pressure the church would have put, they're gonna be like, what?
Yeah.
So like just like what you said, like them not being proud that like you not being able to get married in the church and all, and then being Igbo again, like tradition and all, like
Hello.
bro,
was a lot, yeah.
Combining all of that, like that's
a
like
lot.
the worst combination to have.
But one of the things that helped is something like that is we're looking at it from different sides, right? What happened was he's not in the country.
That too.
Yeah.
By this
Because let
time,
me tell you-
I'm paying my own bills.
Because mind you, if he was in the country, under their roof,
Yeah.
It's not possible.
it's a
It will
different
not,
story.
it won't move like that.
It's not possible.
No, definitely.
Even
know
if,
what I mean?
even if, see, even if
Even the church issue will not carry that weight, because you know why? If Johnny goes back,
They would have brought people to my house to do this.
yeah,
Deliverance.
that's what I'm saying now. It doesn't carry that weight because Johnny is 22,000 miles away.
oh, bro.
So it's
So another beautiful thing that came out of this whole journey was I got closer to my parents. Because when I was in university, I used to dodge their calls and I didn't used to talk to them for sometimes weeks. Right? Because it was all about that vibe of like, make sure my mom will call to make sure I'm doing something. If I haven't done it, I'm dodging, right? So literally when this happened, I made it my mission. I was like, I'm going to call these guys every day or every other day.
Yeah.
And literally when this whole thing started happening, our relationship got stronger because I had no choice but to explain things to my parents and have consistent conversations with my parents that even they knew was very hard for me to do, but I still showed up. So me and my mom used to fight a lot, even before I left the house. After I left the house, because it was just one of I just didn't let it happen. Like my mom, with my siblings, my parents, they're always like, just let it happen. You don't have to do what is said. For me, yes, I didn't have to do what she was telling me to do, but I didn't want her to go away thinking that I agreed with her. And my siblings were so annoyed with me about that because I was always causing problems because I needed to let my mom know that I don't agree with what you're saying. Whereas they would just, move forward.
Voila.
You get me? Yeah.
you're a stubborn kid.
Yeah, pretty much. But then after all this stuff happened, I understood a bit of the pain, just even like a slither of the pain, and I felt that responsibility to show my parents that I'm okay and like show them that I want this relationship, right? I still want to. So I was like, even when I started, it was like every 2 days. And then if 2 days pass and I don't talk to my parents, my mom calls me without fail. And
then you have to pick, bro.
Yeah, and then at that point, like that's what I wanted, right? So I was always picking, it made the relationship better because before that, if that didn't happen, I would not have felt the need to change anything. If that never happened, I wouldn't have felt the need to change any behavior in that relationship, right? Because as far as I was concerned, everything was okay. But then after that happened, I started to see the benefit of like being having a strong relationship with my parents, So yeah.
So so you partake in all the activities, during Ramadan,
Oh yeah.
the fasting.
So when I fasting
And
for
then you
days.
pray, you pray. You actually do pray 5 times.
I
a
try.
day?
I'm still getting there. And like, thankfully, my wife is like doesn't.
So she's devoted.
Yeah, she
So you
doesn't.
don't
She doesn't put any pressure on me about that. She believes that it should be like I actually want to do it, and she's like, yeah, she can
Supportive.
see that time is gonna come. Like she believes that I'm getting to that point. Like, 'cause
Has she ever been to Nigeria?
no, so we were actually supposed to go in December, and then
real?
tickets were just
Yeah,
tickets were
it's
not
making-
because
Same,
a friend got married, right? So we were supposed to go for the
yeah.
wedding, and then by the time I started checking tickets, they were like 3K. I was like,
I
just
beg, I
one
beg.
person. and bro, I haven't been back
that's
for
true.
over 10 years.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, bro. My last time was 2011. So it's like I also was worried about for the first time taking my wife to Nigeria
it's,
when I don't
it's
know
dicey.
anything.
Yeah.
You get me?
yeah.
It's like a blind man leading another. Like, you get so.
So you go first.
I need to go
yeah.
first.
Touchdown.
Yeah,
See what's up.
Exactly, and then
So is there any pressure for you to get like, or rather, I think it's best to ask, do you have a Muslim name?
no.
Is there any
The
pressure
guy- the name,
for
the guy,
you to?
the guy's passport is filled up already. You want to add?
No.
There's absolutely.
No, I'm just saying.
Like when I remember when my workplace where I was when I first converted, there was a lady there who was like, "So you're going to change your name, right?" And she was making it seem like that's something you have to do. And my wife got so mad when I told her about it. She's like, "Why do you have to change your name?" She's like, "No." She's like, "You changing your name is not what determines whether you believe."
Yeah. No, 100%, bro.
Yeah, so
Because nobody know. They can be calling you Mwabez Ahmadi.
Yeah. So like that's the thing, bro. Like it's so interesting. Like even being introduced to my wife's family, it was so far away from all the stereotypes that I was so accustomed to. So far away, like just things like you hear things about even being able to marry multiple wives. Like you're actually not allowed to do it. Like you're allowed, yes, as a guy you're allowed to, but there are reasons why you like. If you don't fulfill that reasons, you are now
treat them
committing
equally.
haram.
I think those stereotypes are just out there.
Yeah.
Without
media,
it's
Without
like
actual
it's just there,
information.
bro.
That wife one.
Like if you
Yeah,
actually
like-
Book
do
and still
it,
do that one. Forget that.
you actually like so pretty much a big thing about Islam is that aside from what is written in the Quran, they also look at how Muhammad, like the Prophet, peace be upon him, like went through his life, the way he behaved. They saw things like someone comes and hits him and he doesn't retaliate. This thing now where you're seeing all these Muslim extremists blowing up places and telling you like, yes, they are doing it for God. There is nowhere in the Quran where it tells you it is okay for there to be casualties. The way war is supposed to be fought is both like anyone that's a soldier meets on the battlefield, civilians are not treated wrongly. Even prisoners of war, they deserve certain rights. Like this is what, and then you're seeing media portraying these people as barbaric, right? Bro, if you look it up, how did the university start? Was a Muslim woman. She created the first university. When I found out about this, I was like, no, it's a lie. It's a lie. Now, even going back to that topic we were talking about in terms of religion, like in terms of, Christianity and whatnot, you will not believe that there are Christians before the whole, cutoff mark. There were people waiting for another prophet to come. This was, there's no, you have to actually go find it. It's not easily accessible.
I think the problem with this, sorry.
Okay.
No, go.
Yeah, I think maybe are you referring to the Jewish people waiting for the Messiah to come?
Not them.
You're
So,
referring to those people who
Followers
believe in-
of Jesus.
in Christ, so waiting
Followers
for
of-
another.
Followers of Jesus had information that there was, and supposedly
And this
from
is-
Jesus, that there was somebody else coming.
This is where, like,
You won't find it. Like, it's one of those books that was...
So the thing,
Those ones are-
you know my thing,
those
yeah.
guys are very-
You know my
It's-
thing,
it's-
yeah.
it's
My
pretty
thing about
inconsistent.
religion is this, yeah.
It's pretty inconsistent, I would say.
My thing about religion is this: people just decide to go through their life, believing everything they've been told right from birth. Oh, A is A. Why is A? They don't ask the
question it.
They don't ask
questions.
questions, yeah.
They just believe it. Oh, I was born into this.
That's
No
it.
quite like.
That is the beginning phase.
Well,
Well, that's true.
no. No, listen.
Because we all.
Let me tell you something, bro. Some people go through
not
their
every-
lives.
not everybody
some
comes-
people,
not
some
everybody-
people-
Not
gets to
everybody,
that point,
not
yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
leaves that, but like then it gets to the point where you
have to-
settle down and ask
very
yourself,
few people, bro.
Why
Very
are
few people, I
you-
think. Yeah.
Very,
why are you actually
very,
doing
very
this?
few people.
I think very few
But let me tell you,
Very
you can say that for the whole world. Because you know why?
Why?
You can say that for both Muslim and Christian.
Of course.
Because you know why?
Of course.
Remember when
No,
I asked Johnny,
100%.
and the question I asked John is, will the other person convert for you? Like, will you guys have stayed together and married? Johnny said yes. But for me, I would say no, because one of the parents will say it cannot work. Do you get what I mean? So meaning there's a belief, they believe that this belief is clashing with their own. The other person believes the belief is clashing with their own.
No, but Khaled, there are some situations where we've actually seen.
But
No.
and-
They're outliers.
Because it depends on the two people, right?
No, yeah, it
depends on two people.
And
look.
some, no, but
Look
but
at
then the family weighs in heavy.
The family
also.
weighs
Of
in.
course.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
when I say it depends on the two people, if both parties are like,
Agree.
yo, this is my life.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
but Johnny, that's where I caught you. You know why?
Okay.
We've seen cases where, okay, let me tell you, I don't want to share my own person, but we've seen cases where, okay, they may not want you to go with this person. Your family, okay, let's say your parents don't want you to go with this person. You go with them, but this is a different story. If your family don't sign off on something, especially your father and mother, I feel like you're losing that blessing.
I don't think so.
Okay,
I don't think so.
A lot
Relax,
of people,
relax,
I agree
relax,
with Khaled. A lot
relax.
of people believe that if their parents don't really
don't
give
sign
them,
up. They think they're good. You'll be good for
thing.
them. No,
Listen.
See.
It still boils down to all of these
relax.
beliefs that we
No,
have.
relax first now. Relax.
You know-
Let me
relax.
tell you
You know
something.
when
No,
it
relax
comes to
now. Relax.
religion-
Wait, relax first.
No, see,
When
sometimes
Johnny had
sometimes
this
it's not even religion.
when
yeah.
Johnny had in school, yeah, whether you believe it or not, someone said this thing to me many years ago. I started thinking about it. Say, Carly, the prayers of your parents is what's keeping you.
Okay.
Johnny,
Up to a certain age, you know that, right?
that is 100% true.
Okay.
So Johnny, if you think about it, you see that, you see when you said you didn't want to leave London or whatever. This woman saw something you're not saying.
Of course.
I'm like, Johnny, you have to go here. She didn't give you the full story if you actually look at it now.
Of course.
She might just tell you school, but she just saw that. Johnny, remember when you came into this country, it wasn't a trend back home to come here.
No. Why?
It was UK.
Yeah, mostly
No,
UK,
you get what
but-
I mean?
No, I didn't know about the
You
trend.
didn't even know about
I didn't
it.
know about
It's-
the trend, but when I came here, I noticed that was a thing.
No, they started becoming
There
a
was
thing after
so
some time.
many, bro.
Yeah.
CIC,
No, but
Great Lakes.
if you compare the number of those CIC and all those schools to now,
It's a lot more now, of course.
exactly.
Of course.
So,
of course.
but then they were in like Canada office everywhere in Nigeria.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's mostly UK. You hardly see Canada office.
Yeah.
So when the parents said, "Okay, go here," Johnny have every right that time to say no.
Yeah, I didn't have any right to say no.
Do you know what I'm saying? Sometimes our parents see some things,
Yeah.
right? Backed up with their spiritual belief, prayer, whatever. Johnny, when you came here, the school thing was happening. Do you know that at that point, there's some parents that will not continue with Johnny? Johnny is not the only side.
Yeah.
Of course,
yeah.
100%. bro.
That's
Yeah.
when they get
Of course.
But they're backing some things with, what I'm going to is they're backing some things with spiritual prayer. Still praying.
And
praying
again,
for
because
Johnny, right?
because they were financially capable.
Okay, we don't want to go to that
that
area.
too, that too,
Because
that
because
too,
the thing is,
If they weren't, there's
Johnny,
no way I was coming
Johnny,
back.
let me tell you.
Bro, let me
some
tell you
parents put
something,
money like this. Johnny's 4 years is going to take 100 and other money is
That's
about
the
120,
budget.
130. Johnny, if you mistakenly fail one, brother, they'll give you the many money. So I paid the main one. And you figure
If you got the very school fees like that.
if it's to do all night,
Yo.
no, brother.
It's true, man.
Because see, that was the reason I didn't get that chance to. We played though. Obviously, we go to all these clubs. That one is different. But there was one thing that was back of my mind. I didn't want to chill with Nigerians too much. He knows. Because I know these people are coming from a different background.
Yeah.
And there were so many wealthy kids around.
Bro.
If I fail one term,
It's factory now.
Yeah.
that's why I applaud. That's why I kind of like, Johnny's parents deserve an award.
100%.
No, they do.
No,
bro.
it's not easy. See,
do,
do you know
bro.
the day you know it's not easy? Tax season is coming. Let Johnny show you that tax season. Everybody you go to when you do tax outside the university, they always call their colleague, something is wrong. Because this 170,000 for one person. How did it?
Where they come from? Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So they tally up your whole after you done school.
Tuition,
right?
yeah,
You just see your tuition.
Yeah.
So someone coughed out that money. That's what we're talking about in the
crazy.
other episode, right?
It's crazy.
Not loan. But anyway, for me, I believe, see, blood is thick.
100%.
Blood is thick, bro.
They you know blood is thick, If they don't sign, I believe if they don't sign up on something based on it's culture too, it's not just this thing. They might still sign up on it before they pass on. Hopefully, if they it's very, very important. To me, it's even more important than the religious leader. I'm telling you, parental blessing. We live in a modern society that don't count those things, but me, I'm telling you, facts.
So I have a point about that, right?
Talk to me.
I agree with what you're saying. Yeah. But so have you know how Abraham, the story of Abraham, right?
Yeah.
You remember what Abraham's father was? You remember he was a priest, but not like a priest of God, right?
Yeah.
Abraham went to his father, he told him, you are wiser than me, and you know more than me in any situation, but this particular thing you do not. Religion. He was talking about religion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how it is in Christianity, but in Islam too, right? You are always supposed to listen to your parents, but if it has anything to do with them telling you something that is not in line with religion or belief in God, that is the only time you're allowed to not.
But Johnny, that's why I'm saying it's key thing, because even in the Bible, if you look at the whole, even from Old Testament to the New Testament, it's always been there.
Honor your father and your mother.
If your parents do not sign up for, even the place Jesus went to go do the wine and this thing, the parents were there. If they not sign up on it, also, I'm not saying that they have to be there every time, but do not sign up on it.
No, you're talking about blessing. You're talking
Blessing.
about giving
It's
that
like blessing. They move religion first. I don't want to move it, but they move it. But you know what's funny? Because we live in a Western world, right? See, you know what I want to with these people in this part of the world too. They are beginning to realize that life is spiritual.
Of course, life is
It
always
wasn't.
spiritual.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't something.
Nothing always like that.
It wasn't something that was like that.
Yeah.
People, if you talk to people before, they're like, oh, now people, there's some things happening. You're like, they sit down and like,
Yeah.
See, there's just some things that you know that people can just pass this road, this door. You just pass, maybe the door just fall down, something like that.
Something, yeah.
You just wondering like, it's just me. No, it's not just you.
Yeah.
It's just a spiritual connotation that even sometimes we don't even understand that.
Oh,
Understand
bro, there are different times where I was supposed to go somewhere. I didn't end up going for whatever reason. And the next day I see news, something popped up. there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're there,
very recently that happened too. Like there's I say very recently that happened. I was supposed to go with Sheyi and Boye to this place called, like, it was like a club called Play. Only for us to see, we didn't end up going, right? It just like flopped. We were tired, lazy old men, Next day, all of a sudden, we see news there was a shooting outside at like 2 a.m. And I'm like,
there's no way they would have catch one strand of your head.
There. You get? We would have been there. There's no two ways about it.
There's no two ways. Either Sheyi or you.
There. Yeah.
And Sheyi is closer to the ground. So something must
pass. And we've had incidents already before in uni where literally, like, we left club, there was a small verbal altercation. All of a sudden, this guy calls his goons. We're walking down the road. I was with Franklin and Josh at that time. All of a sudden, and Shenwa as well. Two guys, this guy is following us as we're walking. All of a sudden, two goons pull out from one street and they start chasing us. I'm like, what the hell? Like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Because
just like that.
Yeah.
Just like that. Just from
imagine
verbal
when.
altercation.
Yeah.
This Fields, in front of Fields.
Oh, yes.
We're walking towards Margie's house that night. Because after we finished, we said, let's go. It was me, Franklin, Josh, and we said, let's go see Margie. All of a sudden, we see these guys following around. Bro, that day was so funny, because one of these guys, our guy is Franklin. The guy had random incidents with cops, and he just didn't like at all. Big guy, though. So me, when these guys I ran to meet them up front. Bro, I saw him when I was running. By the time I got there, he was no longer there. He had disappeared. Big guy. I was like, how are you running away from?
Nah, of course. Because you don't want to get back. Nah, bro. Right. You don't want to get back in the books with
exactly.
with the police.
No, but it was just one of the So definitely, man.
But what advice would you give to someone who is also trying to find their footing, or someone who is in the same situation as you?
I would say just sincerely look for what it is you're looking for. Don't be biased towards one place when you start, getting new information. It's so important to be objective about it. And also, as you're doing it, involve God. Ask God, hey, I want to know this. Please show me the truth. If this is what, like, the thing too is like, asking for signs. Human beings were funny, right? Nowadays, a lot of people, especially I think in Christian religion, people expect to see a vision, right? Like, whereas it can come in any form. Like, it can literally just be someone telling you a specific thing but you always have to be ready to listen, right? Because I think I went through the period of trying so hard not to accept what was making sense to me, because I knew it was pushing me more towards converting, and I just didn't want to accept it. And then when I finally got to that point where
So you're resisting, like
I was resisting, bro. I was that's what's so interesting, right? When initially my parents started talking to me about, how can you do, they felt that I just made a decision because of a girl, and I'm like, you have no idea. I was resisting for months. And it's like, it's different when you're just resisting something because, no, this one, I actually believed what it was I was resisting. So at this point, it's like, am I being arrogant in the face of God? You get, like, that was my own battle with myself. And then I had to get to a point where it's like, okay, let's leave what I think should be truth. Let me just objectively take in information. And yeah, man, like, it's just stuff I couldn't deny, like that's just all it is at the end of the day, and I love certain things about, the religion, because it's like, it actually forces you to constantly think about God, right? So when you see people doing certain things, you're like, yo, you can't say you're Muslim because, like, you are, it's clearly told to you that this is something you're not supposed to be doing.
You shouldn't do this.
So all these stereotypes that I believed, I'm like, yo, those are not actual Muslims that you're talking about. People that have 6+ wives, like the max you're allowed is, I believe, 4 or 3 even.
4.
And all of them have to have a specific. It's either like, maybe like you have a family member who passed away and now the wife has nobody, so you marry them so that you can take care of them, because that's how it is in the Muslim religion too. Is that the men actually take care of, provide
Their
for
brothers'
the women.
wives and stuff.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
like something like that is a
a lot of
thing.
responsibility.
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility for, and that's the thing too. You see people talking about Islam as if like women are oppressed. Bro, women are put on a pedestal. Like, it's insane. Like, of course, there are people that abuse it. There are men that, because they're paying and providing everything for the woman,
they take advantage of all of
abuse it.
that. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so in the religion, men are allowed to tell their wives that they can't do certain things, and their wives are supposed to listen. However, you're not just allowed to just tell them because you actually have to, like, let them know why you're doing it, and then they're supposed to listen, right? But you actually have no control over them. Imagine a woman is allowed to make money if she wants, and her money is her money. You have no right over it. You cannot ask of anything from her regarding her money. You get, so like,
She can decide not to pay bills.
you get, like, but meanwhile, you're telling people, like, people believe that women are oppressed.
I see it. I honestly don't know where all these stereotypes, like,
No,
come
leave
from.
that.
It's
That's
from the
what
extremists.
It's
It's from the
actually like
extremists.
it's actually like pushed,
It's pushed, yes, in
media,
media.
and then
But
it's
look,
pushed
like,
everywhere.
you also, like, they're not really going out of their way to push those things, because, like, look at Saudi, places like Saudi, these are the people that are abusing the religion, right? Because they are, like, imagine how many years ago were women able to drive? Where the hell did that come from? That women cannot drive,
Like, even in Afghan, I believe.
Yeah,
like,
they're stopping
the
women
Taliban
from
have-
being educated right
The
now.
Taliban
What
have
is
stopped
that?
women from
Going to school. What is
from
that?
going to university, yeah.
Like, you're, and then you say, like, a male doctor cannot perform operation on a woman, but then you don't want women to go to school. It makes no sense.
Nah, bro.
Like, and religion actually is supposed to make sense, because we're human beings. You can't follow something that does not make sense. So it's like,
That's true,
And
yeah.
this is the thing, like, when you hear stereotypes, like, when you ask the people, like, did you actually try to find out if this is true,
if
or,
it's
not?
true or not.
No. The answer is no. I
just ran with
accepted
it.
what. Yes, exactly.
Nah,
so
bro.
that's the thing, And the more when I learned more about this stuff, I felt so, like, I was so disappointed that I was part of people that believed in those stereotypes before.
No, I think it happens to us, like, across life. Like,
Yeah,
like, we find ourselves on one side of life or on one side of history, and then after some time we're like, damn, I never knew. I used, like,
Yeah.
why did I used to think this way?
Yep.
But there's some stereotype that it will never go away. I don't want to
100%.
mention it.
Like
All of
what?
the time.
Like what?
All of them, don't put yourself in trouble, Sha. Let me just tell you.
That's
Because
some,
Kali does
I
not.
want to hear it. I
Kali's
wanna hear
mouth runs.
that's some stereotype that will not get. Oscar, see, the way, it won't go away. No, it won't go away.
Like what? Like what? Give me one.
See, and I won't blame people. You know
No,
what?
just give me one. Just give me one. Give me one.
The way black people are viewed,
Okay.
right? It won't go away.
Okay.
It might take.
No, that one, no. That one can't go away.
It can't go away.
Just leave it at that.
Just
Yeah,
leave it
yeah.
like that because
The
no,
way-
Stereotypes, yeah.
The way
It's
the
not
way,
Why,
like,
why do you think it can't go? Why do you guys
that's
think
one
it
thing you have
can't
to
go away?
understand. Yeah? If you don't have a system to kill something, to kill another system,
Okay.
then you are depending on that same system to kill your own stereotype. Meanwhile, that system was created by someone who created the stereotype. Make sense? You and T, you are different ideologies. But you're living in T's system,
Okay.
right? But T has a stereotype for you.
yeah.
But you're expecting T to change that stereotype on his own system. Meanwhile, you haven't built your own system.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
See,
See, what he's saying is just Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
All those kind
So-
of
so guys,
movement, all those kind of
I was
things
actually
that-
talking about this with my wife recently about this whole Black Lives Matter, right? Like, when we look at Jewish community,
yeah.
can you guys see that the Jewish community cannot be touched?
at all.
No, because they built a very powerful system.
Very
There you go.
robust.
There you go.
Untouchable.
Look at shit that happens to, minority, like people of minority, right?